The helmet has obviously a light that goes here. There are some lights that go in here, which is this clear piece, which needs to be sanded down. It's got some flash and stuff on it. Looks like there's also a light that goes here, and there's also a light that goes back here. So I've already, in the previous video, I already drilled a couple of holes here for this light. I need to figure out how I'm going to do the lighting for this piece here, and I need to figure out how I want to do the light here and the lights that are in here. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to sand these clear pieces down. There's a few clear pieces. I'll sand those down and think about this, and then I'll be back. This is the clear piece. It's the front panel that goes in the helmet here at the front. I've put 3 coats of gray Stynylrez Res primer and then 2 coats of NATO black. There are some decals that go on here also. Looking at the movie, there's only one light source in here on this panel, and it's just one red one, and I have drilled that hole out, but I also drilled a couple of other holes before I checked the reference. So I may put a couple more lights in there, I may not, but anyway, they're there if I want them. Inside the helmet, I had the 2 holes that I had drilled previously here for wires to come through, and I've taken my knurling tool and the Dremel and channeled out a spot here for wires. I also drilled a pretty good sized hole, and then also took that knurling tool and dremeled out a big space for my resistors to go in here. So I'll have a light source here with a resistor, and then a light source here with a resistor to run fiber optics to the light here, and then of course there's a light here and a light here. So the plan's working pretty good. I'll do some more work and I'll be back. I've taken a Lighthouse LED and I've clipped the end of it off and then filed it down on both sides so that it'll fit in this slot where this headlight goes. It gives me a really nice bright light, and it should work for what I need it to work for. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and do all my wiring and get everything placed in here, and then I'll be back. Alright, got all my wiring done. Once I get the fiber optics running here, I will cover all this with Aves epoxy sculpt and make it like, you know, head cushions inside, so you won't even know anything's in there. Let me hook this up and see that the lights are working. I've completed putting in all my fiber optics to this front panel here, and then fiber optics to this light and this light on the back of the helmet. I've also sprayed some NATO black inside here to kind of light block everything before I go ahead and put the Aves in there. I still need to figure out something to put on the front of this lamp here on the top of the helmet, so you don't just see the raw LED. You can see I've got my red light in there, and I also did the other 2, the yellow and a green. They're not as bright as I would like them to be, but everything is in there and done, so I'm just gonna leave it as is. A little blue light here, and then of course the white light there, and there's a hole here too I've got to patch when I put in the Aves, because my knurling tool went straight through when I was trying to gouge out a path here. But anyway, this thing is ready for the Aves. I have also done the wiring for the backpack. I've drilled out a whole spot here and then a hole right here all the way through so that the light could shine through. I have a 3mm LED right here and 2 3mm LEDs here These two are connected to one 470 ohm resistor, which is fine for 9 volts. It'll still be fine. The LEDs won't burn out or anything. And I have secured everything with some 5-minute epoxy. All my connections and the LEDs and everything. I still need to spray the back of this to kind of light block it. I also drilled out a nice big size hole on the back of the torso here so that when it goes together it'll be flush against his back like it's supposed to be. So everything will be flush and work like it's supposed to. And you can see the lights are working. The clear pieces I sprayed with my gray Stynol res, about 4 coats, and then I went over with 3 coats of the NATO black, and then I just took an X-Acto and scraped off where the light's going to shine through. And these right here will get some Tamiya clear colors for the colors that go on here. And this one I'm going to have to go in and cover the LED with some white paint to tone down the brightness so it'll be a little bit dimmer. But as I said, this is ready to a few more steps and then that will be done. This little clear piece is not glued yet. That's why it keeps falling out. I still have the flashlight to do, and I have the light inside the egg on the base. I'm going to do the flashlight off camera, and then for part 3 I'm going to work on the base, which I will do the LED for the base in that one. So that's going to do it for part 2. As I said, part 3 I'm going to be working on the base. So I want to thank you guys for watching and thank you guys for subscribing, and I will see you guys for part 3.